MIAPS reactivated to treat low-risk COVID-19 cases. Allergy warning issued over COVID-19 vaccine. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Azlani Adani. The Malaysia Agro Exposition Park Serdang MIAPS has been reactivated as COVID-19 Low-Risk Quarantine and Treatment Centre PKRC for foreign patients. Senior Minister for Security Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the decision to reopen MIAPS was made following the sudden increase in COVID-19 cases and the implementation of the screening program for foreign workers by the social security organisation SOCSO.
Skop operasi kali ini akan melibatkan pesakit COVID-19 kategori 1 iaitu tanpa gejala dan kategori 2 bergejala ringan dan akan hanya menempatkan pesakit bukan warga negara sahaja. Pengaktifan ini turut melibatkan pemindahan pesakit COVID-19 bukan warga negara daripada ILLKM Sungai Buloh ke MIAPS.
The senior minister also said the PKRC had treated 1,362 COVID-19 patients, comprising foreigners 86%, as well as locals 14%. He added that previously the centre only has 614 beds, but currently MIAPS has approximately 10,000 beds ready to be utilised based on 3 phases, namely Phase 1, 3,000 beds, Phase 2, 3,300, and Phase 3, 3,700. The Health Ministry MOH yesterday detected 4 new COVID-19 clusters involving several areas in Sabah, Kuala Lumpur, Johor, Kelantan, Perak and Negeri Sembilan. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the Kupi-Kupi cluster involving the Penampang district in Sabah was detected during a symptomatic individual screening on 2nd December.
Kes-kes bayi kluster ini telah dilaporkan positif bermula pada 9 Disember 2020. Hasil saringan bersasar di tempat kerja yang melibatkan sebuah tapak pembinaan. Sehingga 9 Disember 2020, sejumlah 532 individu telah disaring, di mana 12 kes dikesan positif COVID-19.
Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham said the Bandar Impian cluster was detected in Keluang, Johor and Pasir Putih in Kelantan, with the index case being a severe acute respiratory infection, a SARI case who tested positive for COVID-19 on 1st December. The Health Director General added that the 4th cluster, the Jalan Kemang cluster, involved the district of Port Dickson in Negeri Sembilan, and the index case was reported to have tested positive on 5th December as a result of a screening of symptomatic individuals. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham further noted that with the addition of these 4 new clusters, a total of 396 clusters have been reported so far. On another note, he said that a total of 211 clusters had ended, including 4 yesterday, namely the Gala cluster, Harmony cluster, Mahkota cluster and Bah Kenangan cluster. On another note, Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah debunked a news that vaccines made in China are unsafe to use, saying that the East Asian nation has a successful track record in manufacturing vaccines for diseases other than COVID-19. He was responding to a news article that has been making the rounds over the past few days, alleging that vaccines manufactured in China are not safe. Tan Sri Noor Hisham said the news is not true at all, as China has come out with pre-qualified vaccines for the World Health Organization, WHO, and has experience with manufacturing vaccines. He said that the issue now was the COVID-19 vaccine is new, which require testing in 3 phases. He highlighted that Malaysia has yet to receive any report on the 3rd phase of testing for any of the COVID-19 vaccines developed globally. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham previously said on 4th December that the Health Ministry will conduct its own 3rd phase phase of clinical trials on a vaccine that is developed by the Institute of Medical Biology Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences in Beijing, China. This decision was made after phases 1 and 2 of the clinical trials in China showed that the vaccine is safe to use and garnered good results. The government yesterday said that it will not compromise on the safety, efficacy and stability of COVID-19 vaccines, with the final decision on the usage subject to their approval and registration by the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency (NPRA) under the Health Ministry. Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said there will be no corners cut in NPRA's independent evaluation of the clinical data. Elaborating further on the matter in a statement released, Khairi said the government takes the issue of safety very seriously, and one of the main objectives of the first 2 phases of clinical trial is safety, where every vaccine must pass these 2 phases and must be proven safe before the vaccine enters phase 3. At the moment, none of the COVID-19 vaccines in phase 3 trials have sufficient data to demonstrate sterilizing immunity, which shows that infections can be prevented. However, more information will be available as trials progress. Khairi also stressed that the Vaccine Safety Net (VSN) consists of a diverse group of websites which provides vaccine safety information in various languages evaluated by the World Health Organization and meeting the criteria for good information practices. Furthermore, he said the COVID-19 vaccine development has been fast-tracked due to the several factors, mainly relating to science and technology that has evolved quite significantly over the past decade, with new platforms such as messenger RNA, mRNA and adenoviral vector-based vaccines. The minister added that these developments took place before the pandemic and were quickly adapted to develop a vaccine for COVID-19. The Congress of the Union of Employees in the Public and Civil Services (QPAS) has urged that the Public Service Department (PSD) improve the police service scheme among the Orang Asli or the Senoi Prague unit of the General Operation Force (GOF), proposing a service salary scale starting at the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia (SPM) level. QPAS President Adnan Mat said QPAS found that the existing service scheme was lagging in terms of salary compared to the extraordinary skills they had and risks they face in performing their duties. Adnan said these personnel have very extraordinary skills and they should not be recognized only after their death. He said this was due to the fact that they have already given their best to the country by guarding the borders, which are always exposed to threats of danger. Adnan said currently there were 862 members of Senoi Prague serving in 2 battalions, namely PGA Battalion 3 in Bidor and PGA Battalion 18 in Pekalan Hulu, both in Perak. Meanwhile, on the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission's MACC revelation that only 0.01% of the 1.6 million civil servants dared to report corruption in their respective departments and agencies, Adnan said it could be due to pressure that ultimately adversely impacted on whistleblowers. He said various pressures were experienced by lower-level civil servants, including the possibility of being transferred, blocked promotions, difficulties in the work schedule and scope of work that might be changed from time to time after corruption complaints were made against certain department heads. Water supply in 861 areas in 7 regions in the Klang Valley and Selangor, which experienced water supply disruption since Tuesday, has been fully restored at 3 a.m. today. Pengurusan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd Corporate Communications Head Elina Basri said the water supply disruption affected subscribers in Petaling, Klang Shah Alam, Gombak, Kuala Lumpur, Hulu Selangor, Kuala Langat and Kuala Selangor. She also said in a statement today that Air Selangor would like to thank consumers for their patience, and the corporation extended to Air Selangor frontline staff in the affected regions. The water supply disruptions occurred due to pollution at the raw water source in Sungai Selangor, forcing the water treatment plants at Rantau Panjang Sungai Selangor Phase 1, 2 and 3 to cease operation. Datuk Sarani Muhamad has been sworn in as the 14th Perak Menteri Besar at Istana Iskandariah, Kuala Kangsar today. The Kota Tampan Assemblyman took his oath of office before the Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Muizzuddin Shah, at around 11:20 a.m. The Perak UMNO chairman was appointed as Menteri Besar yesterday, 5 days after a series of events that set off a political impasse in the state leadership. Born on 13th March 1961 in Kampung Raban, Lenggong, Datuk Sarani began his career as a teacher in 1982 after graduating with a diploma in Science and Education for Physics and Mathematics from University Technology Malaysia. The appointment of the new Menteri Besar was made following Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal Azumu's resignation after he lost a vote of confidence in the State Assembly last Friday. Datuk Seri Ahmad Faizal saw only 10 out of 59 assemblymen supporting him, with 48 voting against the motion and 1 abstaining. Developments on the new headquarters of the Football Association of Malaysia (FAM) and the National Training Centre (NTC) in Putrajaya are among the current issues of football presented by FAM President Dato' Hamidin Muhammad Amin during an audience with the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah yesterday. FAM, through its latest post on its Facebook, also said that Dato' Hamidin also informed His Majesty, a person with extensive experience in local and foreign football, including assuming the post of FAM President from 2014 to 2017 on some of the current issues. Dato' Hamidin provided information on the privatisation process of M-League clubs and teams, as well as the separation of football associations into football clubs, preparation of the Harimau Malaya squad to continue the 2022 World Cup, 2023 Asian Cup qualifiers in March 2021. He also informed His Majesty about the latest developments in football decided in the AFF Exco and the Asian Football Confederation AFC. NTC in Precinct 5 Putrajaya was proposed to feature modern facilities, including 3 fields with international features, which were currently in the final phase of discussions with the Youth and Sports Ministry before the initial construction works were expected to begin early next year. Negotiations to build FAM's new headquarters in Precinct 5 were also being finalized and expected to begin construction by the end of 2021. Edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, My apps reactivated to treat low-risk COVID-19 cases. Tune in to News at 10, coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM on My Free Views channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM's My Click. Thank you. I'm Azlan Yadani. Stay tuned to TV2 and goodbye for now.